So my manifesto target are my fellow Black physicians. I'm in the midst of nature because this is where I find my peace and my balance. For too long, physicians, and particularly Black physicians, have been silent as to the root cause of disease in our communities. We have yet to really admit out loud that we are actually disease management specialists and not healthcare providers. Because if we were about providing health, we would be first and foremost about prevention and not treatment. But we've been trained in the lens of Western medicine, which is based on white supremacy and racist, extractive, exploitive principles that don't take into account the awesome power of our humanity. We treat disease on the back end. And as a surgeon, I did that the most. From historically, people that were lauded in medicine, like Charles Sims, the butcher of OBGYN, who practiced his craft on enslaved African women without anesthesia, to the current practice of medicine that results in every single metric Black folks doing worse, from infant mortality to maternal mortality to amputations rates to heart attack, stroke, diabetes, cancer. Every single metric Black Americans do worse, and studies have shown that it doesn't matter whether access to care, education, treatment at the tertiary care center, level of insurance, none of that appears to make a difference. The common denominator is being Black in America. And yet, Black physicians remain silent. And it's clear the one thing that we all have in common in this country is our constant and unrelenting exposure to racist policies and white supremacy that result in everything from food apartheid systems to housing insecurity to violence and poverty and familial dysfunction in our families. From Black women who can't afford to seek care for their breast cancer because they're the only ones holding it together for their family because their men are emasculated or gone, to Black men who are so stressed out that they internalize every pressure and don't reach out to their fellow brothers for help because they're taught from childhood to man up. All this dysfunction is the root cause of disease, and my call to action is for Black physicians to finally call racism what it is, a national health crisis. Stand for anti-racism in your communities, your hospital, the lab, your medical school. Call it out wherever you see it. Call it out in yourself when you see racist tendencies, because yes, we too, as Black folks, have been trained to be racist. That's my manifesto. I find that coming out here gives me peace and clarity. And despite the chronic generational trauma that has actually changed our genes, the field of epigenetics is just getting started. I think there's a way for us to be mindful and take self-care, eat healthy, exercise, and bond with the earth, and change the narrative about health in Black communities. Peace.